Hello everybody, welcome back to Art a la Carte. Today I want to show you some tips and tricks on how I draw profile faces. And I'm going to show you two different styles, if you will, but remember the ideas behind this can be easily morphed into whatever style you're drawing with. I'm also going to be drawing digitally, that way it's just a little bit easier for you guys to see what's going on behind my hand. For those of you who are interested, I'm using Clip Studio Paint as the software to draw on, but really there's so many different drawing softwares out there. You could just use anything you want. I'm going to use a pencil tool because I can get a nice light dark line, and I think that's really important. And the first shape we're going to start off with is our circle shape, which can be a challenging one to draw. So here is a quick tip on how I draw circles, and that's that I don't try to draw that like perfect shape in one line. I go around a whole bunch of times until I start carving in the shape that I like, and then you'll see I kind of darken in the lines where I need it to be, and it definitely does not need to be a perfect shape. So you'll also notice I have over here a reference photo. I find, especially if you're drawing from life or you're just learning how to draw a certain feature, that looking at reference photos is really, really important. To draw something even cartoony, you need to know what the base thing that you're drawing really looks like. So having that reference photo can be helpful. So you'll see that this circle shape is going to be similar to this area here in our reference photo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into 4 parts. I'm going to draw a line from top to bottom and then another line from side to side. So this line here is going to be kind of where you'll see the ear is, and I think this is really cool that the ear is just pretty much centered to the head shape, and then drawing across is going to be your eye line. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to this part here that's at the bottom of my circle where this line meets. I'm going to create a line that comes out, and this line is going to be roughly parallel to the eye line. Now the eye line is important because if you want your character's head to be tilted up or bowing down, you're going to angle this a little bit different. So here I'll have a circle shape, and maybe I want my head to bow down. So you'll see how I have this line now angles down, where if I wanted to make it look up, I would angle it up. But this line here is going to mimic that line here. So for this one, we're just having a straight across face. So we have this one, and then I'm going to bring this up to meet this line here. So we've made this nice little box shape. So what I've done over here on the reference is I'm doing kind of this right here. Just like that. If we break this face up a little bit, you'll see that this point here is your eye line. And then if we go halfway, roughly halfway across, here's your nose line. And then halfway through that is your mouth line. And again, these are just reference. Some people's proportions on their faces are a little bit different. The next step I want to do, and you can do these steps in whatever order works best for you, but I'm going to go ahead and anchor my head in with the neck. Now, for a long time, I just drew my neck straight down and into the shoulders like this. Bam, that was a beautiful neck. But if you look, the neck actually angles a little bit towards the back. So as we come down here, I'm going to angle this line out just a little bit. And you don't want to put like a huge angle, because then you're just going to have this really kind of hunchback character, which I mean you totally could if you angle it too much, but just a nice slight little angle is going to give just that much more realism to your drawing, noticing those little tiny details. So you'll also notice the back of this neck kind of comes in. It doesn't come right to this point, but it comes in so that the head can kind of come on out and around. It has this kind of swooping effect. Because I have a lot of lines and stuff going on here, I'm going to lighten the opacity of this and add a new layer. And we're going to zoom in just a little bit so I can see what's going on with the face. Because we have our little face lines here. But I'm going to start up here at the very top of the head, and we're going to make in our forehead. And as it comes in towards this eye line, it's going to swoop in just a little bit. Now this is where when you're drawing a portrait or a specific person, these are places that you're going to look for extra details, because it could be a really large indentation here. You can exaggerate this or not, but you'll see how it just, this kind of swerves in just a little bit, nice little S curve. And then it's going to come out and make almost like a little triangle area from here to the point where the nose is. Now again, this is another place where you can customize this. And then we're going to come into where the mouth is. So here's our mouth, but we don't want just to come straight down. We want to create this lip. So here you can see how this kind of curves out for the lip there, and then into the top lip, and then the bottom lip. And the top lip is generally a little bit more pronounced than the bottom lip. As we come in underneath the bottom lip, it's going to dent in for the chin. And you'll notice the chin is going to come down past this line that we had created and angle back up towards the throat. Just like so. A little nostril. And so for the eye, you can see this little sideways V shape for your eye. Now when I draw my style of art, I tend to make the eyes a lot bigger than in real life. So you may notice when I do this again that the proportions are way off. So there's our eye, and then a little bit of an arch for an eyebrow. And again with the ear, now if you look over here at our reference photo, you'll see that the top of the ear comes in to about where the eyebrow is, and the bottom of the ear comes in right about at the nose line. And this happens right almost at the intersection. So I'm going to put that in there and then add a little bit of detail in there. And then we can kind of design and give her her own little hairstyle. We can have some fun with that. Now, whether you enjoy drawing realistic art or you prefer to do more of a cartoony style, I recommend that you study from life and try to get a little bit of a sense of a realistic, because again, that's going to help you create a better cartoon character. When you know exactly how the real thing looks, then you can really begin to play around with that a lot more. So let's go ahead and clear off our artboard, and I'm going to really quickly go through this again, but now I'm going to show you how I take the things that we learned with drawing more of a realistic looking profile head, and I'm going to do this with more of a cartoony head. Now, something to think about as I'm building up these these base shapes that we've already seen is that when you watch art videos like this, it's not a one video and then you've got it. It does take a lot of practice. So allow yourself the chance to learn. Practice it. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And also practice variance. And that means don't draw the exact same thing over and over and over. So with profiles, if you draw always looking to the left, you might get really, really good at drawing left viewed profiles, but then you go to draw a right viewed profile and you'd think, if you could draw a left viewed profile, then you should surely be able to draw a right viewed profile, but for some reason your brain just doesn't get it. So practice both left and right. Now, because I'm doing a little bit more of a cartoony illustrated look, I'm going to exaggerate this square shape. I'm going to bring it out a little bit more. But you'll see as I'm drawing this up, a lot of the same kind of features that were in the first one are going to go into this. So you can see I'm kind of dividing it up a little bit the same, but I'm just pushing the limits a little bit to get a more stylized character. So I'm giving bigger eyes, I'm pushing the nose and the mouth out a little bit further from the head. I did a series a long time ago on Drawing People 101, I think back in 2015. So it's quite old on the videos, but I have a lot of tips and tricks on drawing people, drawing hair, things like that. So if there is a feature that you're like, oh, I need extra help on drawing eyes or nose or hairstyles and things like that, check out my video archives because I have quite a few videos. And if you don't find what you're looking for, or if you're just wanting more of an updated video, you can let me know in the comment section. One fun thing about drawing digitally is the ability to edit things a little bit easier. So if I find that my eye is maybe just a little bit too high, I can lasso that and bring it down. But if you were doing this traditionally, that's why it's important to draw really lightly so that you can go back in and kind of fix your drawings up and clean everything up. So I'm really curious if you are more of a digital artist, if you like to draw like on your tablet, or if you enjoy drawing with paper and pencil. So let me know in the comment section. It used to be most people were paper and pencil sketchbook kind of crowd. I know with the popularity of like programs like Procreate on your iPad, there's been a lot of new artists coming in and a lot of artists switching over to drawing digitally. So I think it'd be interesting to find out the dynamics of what people are using to create. Or are you doing a little bit of both? I like to do both. I like to create digitally and then also play around with my traditional mediums as well. A lot of times I'll do the ideas and SketchUps digitally and then do the finished piece traditional. So hopefully this gave you some ideas and some helps on drawing profile faces, how to break those out, how to then take kind of a more realistic look and pull it into more of a stylized or cartoony look. If you practice these and would like to share your drawings with me, I'd love to see them. I'll leave a link to my social media accounts in the description box below so you can tag me in your photos. If you're brand new to my channel, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, God bless you guys, be kind to each other, and we'll see you in the next art video. Bye-bye!